Thanks for joining for Pilates yoga. And with any injuries, take it easy, modify, take a rest. Very important to stay healthy in our bodies. Starting with feet hip distance apart, start to engage the inner thighs, lift the rib cage up off the waist, engage the core, make a lot of space for your muscles here to move in, roll the shoulder blades down the back, lift the chin to level the back of the head over the back of the spine. Let's give a big inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up. And on our exhale this time, let's roll down head first, rolling down toward the floor. And then a slow inhale up. Arms coming up to the top. One more time, let's warm up that spinal column. Exhale, roll down toward the floor. Inhale, roll up. Head last, roll those shoulders down. Great job. Let's come down. Things are weird here. Okay, let's come down to the floor to start our Pilates warm-up. We're going to start with a pelvic tilt. So feet are flat on the floor, head is down, palms are flat on the mat. Tuck your shoulder blades under you to open your chest. And we're going to big inhale, lift the rib cage up off the mat. Big exhale, push the belly button down, flatten the back against the mat. Inhale. Exhale, tilting that tailbone up toward the sky so that it almost lifts up off the mat. But keeping all the work here in the core, we're not going to lift it up off the mat and bring some of that work into our legs. So take these big, exaggerated breaths. Big exhale with the pelvic tuck. 2 more. Really feel the rib cage expand here and then compress, 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 pressing that belly button down. Last one, inhale up and exhale, press down. Now let your spine come to its natural curvature. It's not going to be in contact with the floor. Pressing the belly button down, compressing that distance there. Feel this engagement. Lift those legs up in the air 90 degrees. We're going to have our arms up in the air, keeping the legs where they are. Bring your arms behind you to touch the ground, lift back up. Arms behind, lift back up. So as your arms extend behind you, you should feel that lower core engaging, really reach behind you, using this lever of your arms. This is a great one if you have a weight nearby. Not necessary, I'm not going to go get one, but in your own workout, it's surprisingly challenging with a weight. It's an amazing workout for the core. Holding those legs steady, using your muscles there to keep from having any movement, keeping that gentle curve of the spine. 4 and 3. Squeezing the inner thighs together. 2 and 1. Grab those knees, relax, rock side to side. We're going to start with some scissors here on our back. So extend one leg, straighten the other, lifting the head and shoulders up off the mat, pressing down with the belly button. 2 quick pulls and 2 exhales. Other leg coming down to hover on the mat. Feeling that nice work happening here, side to side. Committing to lifting that head and shoulders up higher off the mat. If that's working for you today, if it's causing you any pain, just drop that head and shoulders down. quick pulls, pointing the toes, hovering that extended leg, feeling the work happening in your core. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees, rock side to side. We're going to come into a little bit of a variation of our scissors now. So rolling back up, one leg extend, one leg up. We're going to reach, big reach. So a twist and reach. Leg is still hovered. Double push, double exhale. Trying to keep the head and shoulders up off the mat. A little more challenging because we don't have an anchor point for those hands. Reach, 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 reach. Big twist for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Hug the knees, rock side to side. Take a little rest. We're going to come over onto our side. You can have your arm extended as a pillow, or you can prop your head up on your arm. Top hand on the mat or on your hip. A little more stability, a little more challenge. Legs are in a straight line from your heels up to the top of your head. And we're just going to start with this top leg lift. So when you do this leg lift, feel yourself pressing down through this oblique. Press down to lift the leg. Really intentionally start the movement here in the core rather than letting that leg just kind of glide up into the air. Think about press down to lift. Press to lift. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay pressed down. Keep this leg up in the air. We're going to bring the other leg up to meet it. Lift and lift. Working to keep those hips straight up and down, not opening to the back. And lift. Nice little inner thigh workout here for those legs. And lift, in addition to pressing down with your core to keep that leg lifted for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to do both legs. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Nice job. Working on that balance. Working to engage the core. Lift and lower. Lift and lower for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs planted. One arm in front, the bottom arm in front, top arm is going to reach and down. Reach and down. So we're not really putting any weight on that front arm. We could press down on that hand to reach all the way up, but this is just a little pulse. That's pure muscle, no leverage. Reach and reach for 4, 3, 2. We're going to hold up here for 8. Lift up those legs. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go. Come into a little child's pose. Wiggle your hips side to side to release that tension before we go to the other side. And getting set up on the other side. Our head is either supported by your arm or supported by your hand, top hand on the floor or on the mat. And we're just starting with that leg lift. Press down to lift up. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Simple leg lift. This one's a nice way to start. Lift and lower for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Leg up, lift the bottom leg to reach to meet it. Lift, lift. Great job. Good job on this nice little inner thigh work, working on your balance, working on keeping those hips straight up and down, keeping the core engaged here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both legs now lift. Lift, lift, lift. Pressing down with the core muscles to lift those legs, squeezing the inner thighs. Lots of work happening here. Lift, lift, lift for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs down. Bottom hand planted in front of you, reaching up with that top hand. Just a little crunch here, a little crunch, pure muscle. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Nice job. Crunch, 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 crunch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift it up. Stay up here. Lift those legs. Nice and balanced. Lots of muscles going on here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Coming back into a little mini child's pose. Wiggling our hips side to side. Getting a little bit of a stretch in the lower back and the obliques here. Before we come into our plank variation. Our plank variation is going to be up, up, down, down with a side plank sweep. We can do this from our knees, up, up, sweep, down, down, other side, up, up, sweep, down, down, or we can do this from our toes. We're going to alternate side to side. So right hand, left hand, sweep, right hand down, right arm down, left arm down, left hand, right hand, sweep, left elbow, right elbow, right, left, sweep, right, left, left, right, sweep, left, right, up, up, sweep, down, down, up, up, sweep, down, down. So really feeling your core working here. You're trying to control the roll of that hips in the up, up, down, down movement. It's definitely a challenge to keep the hips steady here rather than rolling them side to side. For our side plank, we're trying to get up nice and parallel with the wall rather than stopping at a less than 180-degree angle. Down, down, up, up, sweep, down, down, up, up, sweep, down, down. Nice job. 2 more. Up, up, sweep, down, down. Last one. Up, up, sweep, down, down, hold this plank, hold the plank. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sweep to the side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sweep to the center again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. You can do it. You can do it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You made it. Reward yourself with some child's pose. The toes together, knees apart, fingers spread, pushing back with those palms flat on the mat. Get a nice stretch in the shoulders, the lower back, and the hips. Enjoy this little stretch and rest. You earned it. And let's now press forward. We're going to come onto our belly to do some work for our lower back. We're going to do some locusts today. So chin or forehead on the mat, arms beside you, palms facing up. Squeeze those legs together. We're going to keep the head and shoulders on the mat first and just lift those legs up. Reverse leg lift. Squeezing the thighs together. Keeping the legs straight so that the knees are lifting off the mat. So we're not bending at the knee to just lift the lower legs. It would be more of a hamstring exercise. Here we're targeting our glutes and our lower back for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs planted, still squeezing those thighs together. Lift the palms up off the mat, head and shoulders up off the mat. Lift, lift, lift. For 8, 7, 6, reverse crunch here. 5, legs are staying on the mat. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's combine that. We're going to come up into some static holds. We're going to do 3 holds for 8 with a little rest in between. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. Lift your palms up off the mat. Legs, head, shoulders, chest up off the mat. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest for 3, 2, 1. Come back up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest for 3, 2, 1. Last one. You can make it a Superman if you'd like. Extend those arms in front of you for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Windshield those shins and calves side to side, releasing the tension in the lower back. We're going to come back onto our backs for a double leg stretch. A nice challenging move here. Start by hugging the knees, lift the head and shoulders up off the mat, pressing that belly button down to the spine. We're going to start by extending those legs and bring them back into a hug. Extend the legs. So we're starting here with just our arms extended along the body. legs coming out to a hover. If that is putting too much pressure on your lower back, you can bring the legs up in the air. That is going to be a little less demanding. And if this is feeling good, you can extend those arms behind you, bring them in for the full double leg stretch. Coming out to this banana pose, coming back in. Head and shoulders stay lifted up off the mat. Big hug of the knees. Extend and hug. Hover, so the closer you are to the mat with those legs and arms, the more challenging it is to keep them lifted. Nice hard work here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do a little variation of our warm-up here. So we're going to extend those legs to hover, arms and head and shoulders up off the mat. We're going to bring those arms behind, bring them to the front for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees, relax the head down to the mat, rock side to side. We've finished our Pilates series. Let's get ready to move into our yoga series. Cross your legs, roll up and over. Coming to our tabletop position. Plant your palms. We're gonna push back. We're gonna tuck our toes under, pushing back into a down dog really quickly. Not quite there yet. We're gonna just walk the hands back to the feet. Slowly roll up, 1 vertebra at a time. Head last. Roll the shoulder blades down. For our balance today, we're going to be doing a standing crescent moon. So I have my block handy. Some people I know can reach the floor, but you might, if you're like me, you might need a block or a large book to help you with that. So you can take a minute to get set with that if you want to grab one. And let's start our sun salutation, rolling our shoulder blades down the back. Great job. Close the eyes. Level the chin, back of the head over the back of the spine. Open the palms to the front of the room. You can close your eyes if you'd like while we take 3 breaths here to start our Ujjayi yoga breathing. Open your eyes, feel your weight between your, divided between your feet. Kind of rock one side to the other. See what it feels like to have all the weight on one side. I'm gonna try to find the exact center. It's hard to do, at least for me. I definitely favor one leg over the other, and the other one is just used for balance. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to a fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to that fold. Slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Head last. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Grab a hold of your big toes with your yoga toe hold, or rest your hands on your shin, trying to straighten the knees, letting the head drop toward the floor. Feeling it so heavy, try to shift your weight forward onto your toes, away from your heels. Feeling how different the stretch is there. For me, that lets me get a little deeper into my hamstrings. And 1 more breath here. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bring your palms to the mat, step or jump back into a plank. You can drop down to your knees or stay on your toes for our Chaturanga. Big inhale. Exhale, hug those elbows to the rib cage, coming to hover over the mat, coming up to a cobra or to an up dog. If we're in an up dog, we're protecting our spine with our core, not totally collapsing, but just lifted a little bit from below. Shoulders down, gaze up to the sky. Big inhale, and on our exhale, we press back into a down dog. You should feel a little more prepared for this one than the one we started with. So enjoy that difference. Roll through your shoulders to drop your head down, letting your heels float down toward the mat. Let's come through our warrior series. Inhale the right leg into the air. Exhale, step it between the palms, turn the left foot down to the mat. Rise up to our warrior one. Hips facing the front. Outside edge of the back foot press down to the mat. Inhale, palms to heart center. Open to our warrior two, making sure that front knee doesn't collapse inward. Easier now to press the outside edge of the back foot into the mat. Gaze over the front fingertips, shoulders are parallel to the wall. Inhale, rotate that front palm to the air. Exhale, raise your spear to the sky in our peaceful warrior. Inhale yourself back to warrior two and continue through the movement to our extended side angle. Elbow is tucked inside that front leg. We're going to try to float down closer to the mat, reaching those top fingers. Bottom hand is strong and facing to the sky. Palms to the mat. Step that right foot back. Come back through our Chaturanga and our up dog and down dog. And pedal your feet on this one, bending one knee and then the other. Feeling the stretch in your calves down toward the mat. And now inhale that left leg, step it forward. Turn the right foot to the mat, hips facing to the front, pressing the outside edge of that right foot down. Floating down toward the mat. Inhale, palms to heart center, opening into our warrior two. Reset the position of your hips, check in with your knees and your feet. Floating down toward the mat on our exhale. Flip that front palm up to the sky. Reverse your warrior. Reaching that arm up, up, up. Into the sky. Gaze up at the front fingertips, letting that front knee bend, floating down toward the mat. Inhale yourself back to warrior two and exhale into the extended side angle pose. Floating back down toward the mat. Both fingers and hands very strong. reaching, striving. And palms to the mat. Step that left foot back to the plank. Big inhale, Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Let's do some three-legged dog stretching here. So lift that right leg up into the air. Right now, our hips are square. 3 breaths. Now bend that knee, open the hip. Look for your right foot underneath your left arm. Shoulders are still square to the mat, so a big twist happening at your hips and waist. Feel the nice stretch and twist here. And now let's exhale that foot in between the hands, keeping the back toes on the mat. Rise up into our crescent lunge. Back leg straight. Trying to float down toward the mat. Shoulders away from the ears. Palms back to the mat. Step the right foot back. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Feel the difference between those two hips, the one that's gotten the stretch and the one that hasn't. And let's give our left leg the opportunity to rise up into the air. 3 breaths here. Now bend that knee, open the hip, keeping the shoulders square. Feel the weight of that foot kind of just carrying over diagonally, lifting the knee high into the air. And now step that left foot between the hands, right toes stay up on the mat. Rise up into our crescent lunge. Floating down toward the mat, press that back heel back. Feel as though your feet are pressing away from one another. Palms back to the mat. Let's just step that right foot forward to reach the left, flat back. Inhale, exhale, full fold. Inhale, slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Head last. Roll the shoulders down, open the palms toward the front for our Tadasana. Feel your head right, perfectly balanced on top of your spinal column. Getting ready for our balance pose. As I said, we're going to do our standing crescent moon. So I'm just going to hold on to my yoga block right here. You can also have your book or maybe like a firm ottoman or something down next to you on the floor. Feel all the points of your right foot. So you'll have the block in the foot that's going to be your standing leg. Lift up your toes, set them down. We can start with our hand on our hip if you'd like. We're going to hinge over to the side, dropping that hand down toward the floor. Lift that other arm up into the sky. Lift the standing leg. I'm going to try to take my block down a notch. There we go. Keeping the shoulders really parallel to the wall, so opening that top shoulder up. One more breath. And slowly come back up to standing. Great job, you guys. Beautiful balance. Really nice. Shake it out. I like that one because it's a balance and a stretch. Block in the other hand. Pick up those left toes. Set them down one at a time. You can start with hand on hip or hand extended, whatever works for you. And we're gonna float down to get into our pose here. Extend that arm, gaze up at the top hand. Come down a notch here. Lifting that leg up into the air. Keeping the shoulders super open. Really nice. Trying to straighten that standing leg. One more breath. And slowly coming back up to standing. Beautiful, beautiful job on that balance. Let's continue that side stretch and come into our triangle. So one foot is forward, other foot out to the side. Our feet are at a 90-degree angle. Hips are square to the front. Extending those arms, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Reach forward, 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 forward toward those toes that are pointed out until you can't get any further to the side, and then drop down into this triangle. So it's a really similar feeling to the crescent moon, but we're a lot more supported because we've got both feet on the floor. Gaze up at that top hand. Really thinking about a lot of distance here, a lot of extension. Get a good stretch. Opening up those sacroiliac joints. And let's lift, lift, lift. Using that top hand, lift yourself up. Switch your feet. Reaching over to the other side. And gaze up at the top hand. Making a lot of room for stretch along those obliques, along the lower back. Pressing forward with the bottom shoulder to open the top shoulder even further. See what that does to your stretch. And lifting up with the top hand, rise back up. We're gonna come to a standing V. So feet are super wide, toes are pointing toward one another, starting with our hands on our hips, tiny, tiny back bend, just dropping the head behind you a little for a big inhale, and then exhale, coming to a forward fold. Back is flat as long as you can make it, and then bend it. Reach those hands through the legs, or you can rest them on your shins or yoga toe hold, or keep them on your hips, whatever gives you the stretch you need. Again, try to rotate your weight toward your toes, away from your heels. See how that deepens your stretch. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders, bend your knees, and now straighten them. See if you can stay in this deeper position, keeping your hands where they are under your shoulders. Weight toward the toes, toward the fingers, instead of the palms and the heels. And again, bend your knees. This time we're going to come all the way down to the mat. A little boat pose before our Savasana. So modified boat, fingertips facing toward the toes, planted right outside and behind your hips, open chest and shoulders, feet on the mat. Level 1 is here. Level 2, lift those feet off the mat. Level 3, extend the arms. Level 4, straighten the legs. Whichever level you're at, trying to have a straight line from the top of the head down to the tailbone. It's a lot easier to do the boat if you hunch. So that's why it's better to take one of the modified levels to maintain that spinal alignment. Holding here for 5 breaths. Last breath. Hug the knees. Rock back down to lay on the mat. Rock side to side. Do any more stretching that you need before we go into our Savasana. And when you're ready, extend the legs. Let them sit a comfortable distance apart, feet opening up. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Open your palms to the sky. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Close your eyes. Wiggle your lower jaw. Unstick your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Feel the points of contact with the floor, the backs of your hands, your elbows, your shoulders, your glutes, your calves, your heels. Try to let all of your weight sink into those spots. Letting go of the tension that's trying to lift them up off the floor. We can't win against gravity here, so let it cocoon you. Start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Circle your wrists and ankles. And now switch directions. Keeping your eyes closed, roll over onto one side using your arm as a pillow. Bend your knees and tuck your feet into a fetal position. And push yourself up to a seated position. Palms are up. Lift the top of your head toward the sky on an inhale. And on an exhale, drop your chin to your chest. Spine stays tall and extended. Inhale all the way up to drop your head behind. And exhale, drop your chin to your chest. One more time, inhale to drop the head all the way behind you. Exhale, bring that chin to level. You went all the way through your range of motion, so stop right where it feels like it's perfectly balanced. Inhale your palms to your heart center. Exhale them to the center of your forehead, your third eye, the center of your intuition. Big inhale and exhale. If you'd like, you can join me in a bow. Namaste. Thanks for joining today for Yoga Pilates. Hope you got the workout that you needed.